we would just diverge, I don't know the word, doesn't matter. We'd just diverge off the path. I'll say to him, do you know where you're going? He says, yeah, well, you can't really get lost up Hornhill, can you? It's not that big. I'm Josh, and today I am filming with Kyle for the series You Matter. It's a series that I came up with, and I went to Kyle and I said, I've got an idea, and it's an idea that's close to my heart. And the idea is that we all have someone in our lives at some point that struggles with mental health. You know at least one person. I guarantee you know at least one person. But more importantly, there are a lot of men out there who have suffered with mental health and they don't talk about it. They struggle and they plod along, or worse. So that's my idea. I wanted to do a series called You Matter to help someone. If only 10 people watch it, but one person reaches out for help, or some of those people, they encourage someone they know to talk, and that saves someone, then I have achieved my goal. So I'm Josh, and this is You Matter, because you all do. That's a good question, but I think it's very easy. No, clearly not, because there are clearly still a lot of guys struggling. They're not reaching out before it's too late. They become alcoholics, or they become drug addicts, or even worse, they jump off bridges or multi-stories, high buildings. So no, there isn't enough being done. I think, yes, more people are aware that men are suffering in silence, but I don't think enough is being done to change it. I do think there's a lot of services out there that men can go to, but I think we as a society have, what's the right words? We've kind of trained ourselves to as men to not necessarily reach out for help. We've made it look like a bad thing. Part of it is, grandparents saying to their, to their kids and their grandkids, get up, brush it off, you'll be fine. Get on with it, or stop being a big girl's blouse. So some of it starts right at home, and how we as a people raise young boys to be. That don't cry, for example. Don't cry. You're like 10 now, you're 12, you're a big boy now, you're a grown man now, can't cry. So yes, there are services out there, but I think the big issue is how we are at home or with our friends. I know a lot of lads, when they break up with their missus, for example, some guys struggle with that. It's natural, it's fine. But a lot of lads will go, when I was growing up, it would be like, you'll be right, there'll be plenty more fish in the sea, let's go out and get drunk. And I think it's attitudes like that don't help. Yes, go out, have fun, you'll be okay in that kind of situation, but I think we also need to not be afraid to say to people, it's okay to open up, it's okay to be upset or down for a little bit, and not necessarily be happy all the time. You don't have to put on a facade. So no, I don't think enough is being done, but I think it's how we interact with people and approach certain things that needs to change. So I told you that I'm going to tell you a story, because we all have one, and here's mine. You're probably wondering, well, what do you have in your life that's caused you to be able to relate to us? Well, the thing that happened to me, or multiple things happen to me, because it doesn't have to be one thing. Mental health can happen through a series of small events that eventually just get too much. Because we as men are taught to just keep plodding along. So my story is lots of little stories. And I didn't really realise, I guess until recently, that technically I've struggled with mental health my entire life. You see, I've only just started going through the process of being diagnosed with ADHD. And a common thing that happens with people with ADHD is we can suffer and go through small bouts of depression and anxiety. And when I look back on my life, I think, well, yeah, that's true. I was constantly trying to fit in to places. See, I could fit into everywhere but nowhere. I felt like I never really truly belonged, and because I was so wanting to be getting along with everyone, you know, I didn't always know who I was, you know, and I was so down at times, and I was constantly second guessing everything I did, and I was constantly, well, how do I look? Am I looking okay? Because I was also bullied a lot as a kid. I was constantly getting into fights, helping the little guy, but also because I didn't fit into a specific group of people and I stuck out, I guess you could say I was a giant target. You know, I wasn't afraid to be me at the same time, but I did want to try to fit in. And so I got bullied a lot, and I struggled with that, to be fair. For a long time, I felt like I didn't really have any real friends. Not until I was probably about 12, 13 and I met Kyle and Dave and so many other people within that group of friends at school. And being ADHD, you know, I kind of struggled with the whole social aspect of it as well. That certainly didn't help, but those guys, they did help me, and I eventually fitted in somewhere. You know, I eventually found a group of friends, but it always stuck with me, even now, you know. So there's the ADHD side of things, and I was bullied a lot growing up. You know, I used to have a twitch in my eye from, I guess, anxiety and stress, I guess, and I'd get picked on for that. You know, but I never knew who I could go to, who I could turn to and talk to. Well, that's a bit of a lie. There was one person, and this person is really close to me, someone I care for a lot, and I was Will. But he's not around anymore. See, he died back in 2014. And I remember that day, so it's like it was yesterday. It was nearly 10 years ago. In fact, it is about 2 weeks today, on the day we're filming right now, it's 2 weeks away from what would have been another birthday of his. But back in 2014, this man passed away, and this man was my grandfather. You see, I grew up not knowing who my real father was, who my biological father was. He wasn't around. So I had my grandfather though. He was always there for everything. He would take me to Cubs and he'd pick me up. He would take me to places like Hormond Hill that you can see here. He gave me that. I love coming here whenever I'm stressed or I've got things on my mind, or if I just want a nice walk, I come here because it's something me and him did together. I mean, there's a lot of things I want to say to myself, but I think the main one would be, don't worry, it's going to be okay. Talk about your feelings, don't hide it, and don't be in a rush. Enjoy the moments, make plenty of friends, because again, it's going to be okay. And to spend more time with your granddad, and ask him every single question that comes to mind. Doesn't matter how silly it is, doesn't matter if it's for something that's not going to happen for another 30 years, such as fatherhood or whatever. Just take that little bit more time, you know, to enjoy things, enjoy time with him. Because I mean, I walk past this pond every single time I come to this place, this Hormond Hill, and it brings back a memory. You see, to me this is called Crocodile Pond, not because there's a real crocodile in it, but because we were on a walk once and there was a log popping out of the water and I thought it was a crocodile, and my granddad found that really funny, and he always reminded me, not every single week, but every year he would remind me what it's called and why it's called, and tell me the story, and I'm like 95% sure that he got other relatives to call it Crocodile Pond, because you see, I'm one of many grandchildren. There's 12 grandchildren, and then there's soon about to be 8 grandchildren. He's left a hell of a legacy behind. So it's called Crocodile Pond, and I want to enjoy, I want to keep them, and that I'll teach it to my daughter. Hey Pooch. Oh, you're a friendly dog. He also taught me a lot of love for dogs and animals. Bless. And so yeah, just to slow down, don't worry so much, enjoy the memories, take pictures, videos, ask him plenty of questions. That's what I'd say to myself. Because going past places like this, it brings a massive smile to my face, and I feel like there could have been so many more opportunities and things I could have asked him and done with him. I certainly never got a chance to go to a pub, just me and him, and have a drink. I don't know why I didn't do that. I didn't. Never came to my mind. And he'd laugh about it. We did that quite a few times. And I'd also say to him, well, what about Nan? He's like, it'll be fine. And Nan would ring up a little while later saying, how long are you going to be? I've got your eggs and bacon ready. And he'd be like, oh well, we better get back. And it's just simple stuff like that. I remember, and it makes me smile. Good question. I think what we have to remember is social media is only like 15 years old roughly. I mean, it was starting to come around when I was still in secondary school. I think we're still learning a lot about it, how to deal with it. It's literally something that's come around when I was a kid. I'm only just becoming a parent 15 years later, and if I'm still learning about it, what can I say, to my daughter about it when she's old enough? Hopefully by then I will know. What I do know is stuff like Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, it's got algorithms. It's designed to show you stuff it thinks you want to see, that you want to hear, things that you're interested in. And while that's great, it also has a massive drawback. While it shows a lot of positivity, it can show a lot of negativity. It can draw you into things that you don't necessarily want to see. For example, politics. If you're interested in Conservatives, it's going to show you stuff by the Labour Party as well. It's sometimes designed to get a reaction out of you. So I think the best thing to do sometimes is remind yourself and your kids, that not everything is as it seems online. Everything is designed to sell. It's designed to get a reaction. So sometimes it's best just to focus on, what you want to post, how you want to post it and come across, and just focus on your family and friends. And if something isn't quite, what you like, or you don't quite agree with it, just keep scrolling, because your opinion, typing your comment on there isn't necessarily going to change anything. It really isn't. So there's no point stressing about it. And just do something simple. If someone's being difficult, just block them. If it's someone you know, like from school or in life, work, whatever, just report it. Just ignore them. But it's so hard to do when social media is everywhere and it's constantly throwing stuff at you in your face on purpose, designed to get your attention. I think parents definitely need to keep an eye on their kids and kind of manage their social media time and keep an eye on their page. And it's certainly what I would be doing when my daughter's old enough for it. I will certainly be keeping an eye on her social media and having access to it myself, so that I can make sure that she's okay. I mean, I've got a lot of thoughts. It's a tough topic, mental health, isn't it? It's about finding that balance between a little bit of tough love when you need it, but also being understanding, sympathetic to those who are reaching out. It's about, breaking the ice and taking that step, saying to someone, I'm struggling financially, I'm struggling with life, I'm struggling with this or that. It really is. I certainly found it hard on multiple occasions, and I think it took me a little while to kind of figure it out, because for a while I felt like I was on my own. And I think that is that's the greatest crime in the world, I think, is that someone can feel alone. As humans, I don't think, we're not supposed to be alone as humans. But there are two kind of quotes. Well, one's a quote, one's actually a motto. The first quote, it's a bit long-winded, but there's a few words I like. Evolve or die. And what it's referring to is that we humans are not supposed to stagnate, we're not supposed to be still, we're supposed to keep growing, we're supposed to keep changing, adapting, evolving as people. And I think that's one thing that can help fight mental health, is have an interest that you can continually, enjoy, that continually can change and adapt. Find things that can help you become a better person. If your circle of friends isn't good enough, you evolve, you get a better one, however that might take shape. So evolve or die is some words I've lived by for a while. It's not so literal, but if you think about it metaphorically, it makes sense. Now, the next one is something really close to my heart. Not quite literally, it's right there. Me and my granddad used to do this thing. We used to like talking about family research. It was one of our things, and I don't know if I mentioned it before or not, but it was one of our things, and it's something I take a lot of pride in. So when he passed away, it was one tribute that I really wanted to do for him. I wanted to get a tattoo on it for him. So I got the family crest as I know it, as we know it, and I got the Latin motto there, because our family history goes way, way back. And it's quite simple, it's Dum Spiro Spiro, and what it means is, while I breathe, I hope. And that is something that I think runs through my veins, is as long as I'm breathing, I'm going to keep fighting, I'm going to keep hoping that every bad situation is going to end, every bad situation is going to get better. And as long as I'm alive, I'm going to keep hoping, and I'm going to keep fighting, and it's going to get better. Grandad, I say this to you. I'm happy, and I've achieved everything that I've wanted to. And I hope many, many years from now, 50, 60, 70, well, not quite 70, I'll be 100, that'd be silly. But many years down the line, it's going to be my time to go, and we'll be able to have a good catch up, and you'll say to me, I'm proud of you, because I've done it. I've had a good career, I've had many good careers, I've met many wonderful people. I've got a daughter who's absolutely amazing, she has your kind of eyes, even your brother says it. She's got a sense of humour that you would just keep laughing your head off. And I just want to say thank you for always being there on my shoulder for all those tough times, because I know you were there, saying, it'll be all right, mate. Or sometimes, occasionally, saying, stop calling me Hobbit. So thank you for always being there for me, Grandad, and showing me what it means to be a father. Without you, I wouldn't be who I am today. So thank you. And I've achieved it. I own my own house, I own my own car, beautiful daughter. I've got a partner. She's got her own mental health issues, and like you would, I would. I've stuck by her because I want to, and it's the right thing to do. And I learnt what a family man is from you. So thank you. Thank you for listening to my story. It's been fun and it's been emotional. But I'm going to go kiss my daughter goodnight before she goes to bed.